I'm just going to speak briefly about the proposed the proposed legislation that the government has tabled with respect to the invasion of people's private lives in this spying bill. We are going to make sure that this legislation doesn't pass, and if it does pass, we can make sure let every single government member know we are going to repeal this legislation. They already have provisions under law where they can get this information. They do not need this act. This is a crying shame. You know, in 2014, the Privy Council upheld the Listen Devices Act, which gave the police the power to record people. And you had to get permission from the court to do so. But it was found to be held legal. The challenge that we have as the DNA is what they're proposing in this bill goes well beyond the pale. And if we take a look at it, we have, and they've promised now for years to provide us legislation that legalized the National Intelligence Agency. And we have yet to see the government bring this legislation. We have an unauthorized intelligence gathering agency operating in the Bahamas with no oversight, legal oversight. And now we have a government that's putting on the table the ability to record the private lives of every single Bahamian. Now the concern that I have, and our party has, was when it broke that the United States ran Somulget on the Bahamas, recording every piece of data. We had ministers complaining, how dare America record every single keystroke and telephone conversation in this country. And yet, here we are today. The same government that said or complained that the United States was recording everything from the Bahamas, from telecommunications, internet, wireless transmissions. You now have a government putting in place legislation that's going to enable the exact same thing. And so the challenge is, where are the civil liberties of the Bahamian people? Who gives them the right to produce legislation that intrudes into the lives of every single Bahamian? And are we going to give this government, or any government, access into our private lives? This piece of legislation cannot be allowed to pass in this country. It cannot. This is not what we expect. Is this how you believe in Bahamians? That all of our private lives are now going to be scrutinized. Your private emails are going to be scrutinized. Your private conversations with your lawyer are going to be recorded.